Hi, everybody. This is David Nevins for Citybiz List. And today our guest is Chris Drewer, the president of the Harford County Association of Realtors. Welcome to the program, Chris.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Well, I think, as most people know, the real estate industry is pretty hot right now. I assume you would agree, and Harford County would be among even those markets leading the way. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all, and your work on behalf of the Harford County Association of Realtors.
Okay, great. I've been in the real estate industry. Actually, I started in the housing industry in 2002. I was a store manager for Lowe's Home Improvement. From there, I decided to jump from the retail world and get into running my own business. So I thought that staying in the housing industry would be important because I already knew a lot about it. So I decided to jump into real estate in 2004. So I've been doing it 17 years now. I worked at one firm for 17 years and actually just recently, a month ago, switched to a new firm that's a little more virtual and technology oriented. But I've been associated with the Harford County Association of Realtors for the last 8 to 10 years, whether it was on committees, working my way up to the board of directors, and then also the executive committee, which consists of the leadership committee up to the president of the Harford County Association of Realtors, which is where I landed now, and I continue until the end of September of this year.
So, Chris, I know that the Harford County Association of Realtors is not just your everyday membership organization, but you all are pretty active in the marketplace, active in Harford County. You do advocacy work. So tell us a little bit about the association, the number of members, and what you are all about and what you're trying to accomplish.
Sure. We're consisted of a board that's about 16 members. And then we also have 22 committees, I think, with around 200 of our members serving on those committees. Some people serve on more than one committee. I mean, that's the old saying that a lot of most of the people a few people do most of the work. So
right.
We have a lot of people that are involved in multi committees that really just want to give back to the community. That's what we focus on a lot. We advocate for the realtor to make sure that home ownership rights are protected. So we do have a couple PACs that we raise money for, like our PAC, which is the Realtor Political Action Committee, which is a national organization. I'm also a trustee for our PAC, and we also have a local Harford County PAC that we raise money for. And we're very in tune with the local and state representatives. And when we have issues or our clients have issues, we're the first to express those to the representatives down in Annapolis to try to get them to see our way and to protect really home ownership rights. We provide training and networking for our agent members, and we give back to the community through different ways. Like we have a Realtor Care Day yearly, and we can talk more about that later if you want, but we also give back to the Boys and Girls Club, food banks, an education foundation where we give scholarships. So all kinds of stuff.
So, Chris, yeah, sounds like you're pretty busy at this, and yet I know that's not your full-time job, running the association. Tell us a little bit about the marketplace in Harford County, and I guess it's accurate to say the Association of Realtors, you're about promoting home ownership and making sure that the process of buying and selling a home in Harford County is a smooth one and works both for the buyer and the seller. Is that correct?
That's true. Yes, we're very focused on fair housing too in Harford County. We started a committee this year at our board, and it's called the IDEA Committee. It's the Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, Awareness Committee. So we are very focused on trying to make it easy for anyone to achieve the American dream of owning a house. So it's very important to us. But right now, the community, the Harford County community, is very scarce for inventory. So sellers are able to grab more equity than they ever have, but the buyers are also fighting over, it's kind of like the toilet paper in March. The houses are
right.
Toilet paper now. I mean, it's really hard to find houses, multiple, bidders. So it gets to be frustrating for the buyers, but the rates are so low, historic lows. So it's really a good time to purchase because you're going to lock in on a historic low rate for 30 years. And that's going to save thousands in interest, for over that time period. So.
Yeah, and I understand obviously there's a real estate boom all over the country, but Harford County is among those jurisdictions that's really that much more popular today. Is that accurate?
That is, and I don't want to misspeak, but I think that part of that is because of the work at home in the last year. People don't need to drive maybe to a local metropolitan area like DC. They can work from home. So they're not really as concerned about their commute time. And so they're looking a little further out into the country where they can get more acreage, bigger house, spaced. I think people want to be spaced out more after all this. What do we learn through this is, it's good to be spaced out and not be on top of each other in a house. So I think that's really, Harford County was a perfect breeding ground for houses that are spaced out and have space in them. And, that's why I think people have really started looking in these areas. So, yeah,
I know a lot of friends who are, looking to try to find a house in Harford County, and it's a challenging time, though, as you noted, Chris, if you're able to do it, you're able to buy and keep your monthly payments, relatively low, as you noted, because interest rates are still so good.
Yes, and we're lucky in the state of Maryland. We have a little bit of everything. We have the mountains, we have the beach, we have the bay, and a lot of Harford County. Well, part of Harford County is on the bay, so you have like the Havre de Grace and Aberdeen area, and where you're on the water, and that's attractive to people also. So I think that we're just very lucky to have all different seasons, and we can have all 4 seasons in one day sometimes.
Yeah, no question about it. Chris, I was always a little bit confused. Maybe you can set the record straight and help our viewers as they enter not enter the field, but look for someone to help them. Explain the difference between a realtor and an agent,
okay,
if you would, and then what am I missing?
Okay, that's the easy one. It is confusing. So you have real estate agents, you have realtors. Now, a realtor is a licensed salesperson who belongs to the National Association of Realtors. And that's the largest trade group in the country. Right now, it's at 1.5 million probably, because it was 1.4, but we had a lot of agents add on this year during the pandemic. So they're held to a higher ethical standard than licensed agents. And we must adhere to the NAR Code of Ethics. So that's the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent. And you cannot use the realtor name without subscribing or paying dues to the National Association of Realtors.
And then, Chris, also just share with us a little bit in terms of specifics regarding your association, the number of members, and I assume the jurisdiction you cover is all of Harford County, but tell us a little bit about some details about the association.
Sure. We have around 1,300 realtor members. We do have affiliate members also that may be like lenders, appraisers, title companies. They're around 120 of the affiliate members. So combined, we're around 1,420 total. And that's not just agents that live in Harford County. We have some people who live on the line of Baltimore County, Harford County that choose to be a member of the Harford County Association of Realtors. We're a smaller, as far as the state's concerned, I'm on the state board of realtors also. And as far as the state's concerned, we're a smaller realtor association. And I think sometimes people get more out of that because it feels more like a small family, and you get to know people, you see the same people a lot. And that helps a lot when you're in business. When you see someone out in the field that you've worked side by side at a function, maybe at a charity event, and then you see them when you're writing an offer for your client. It's just knowing someone doesn't give you an edge, but it still makes you feel like you can talk to them, especially when we have some tough situations sometimes in a home selling process. So.
Right. Yeah. I guess many of our viewers have been on one side or another of those, right?
Right. It's not
Chris,
easy. It's not easy to do without someone guiding you the way. The rules change every day, and we continuously take continuing education. We're required by law to take 15 hours every 2 years but I also monitor, because we're doing virtual continuing ed right now. So I see I'm in a lot of continuing education classes, and things that change that people wouldn't know if they weren't a realtor. It's amazing. You could really lose a lot of money in a transaction without knowing the rules. So
yeah, and that's an interesting point you bring up, Chris, because I think particularly when the market is so hot as it is today, I think a lot of people think that they don't need a realtor. They can just do it themselves, owner to buyer. And of course that can be done, but there are a lot of obstacles along the way. Would you agree?
absolutely. I mean, there's customary figures like split and transfer recordation taxes that some people wouldn't know about that would be customary in the state of Maryland. Also, the marketing that we do, the reach that we would get your house to would be a lot greater than if you were just doing it by yourself. So yeah, I tell people you can make up the money in commission plus some if you were to hire a realtor.
Yeah, just by virtue of having more people interested in purchasing your home, I would imagine.
You have a wider funnel to start with. You're funneling a lot more leads into a lot more views on your house, and that creates sometimes an auction effect where you have a lot of people bidding on the house, and it drives the prices up, and you get the best terms too, prices and everything, because you can only appraise a house so high. So you may want other terms in your favor in case it doesn't appraise. What are you going to do at that point? Because it's only going to appraise for so much, and the banks will only loan on appraised value, and then you have to find someone who either has cash or wants to add cash to the transaction, which isn't everyone.
Right. Yeah, no, that's those are outstanding reasons, and I hope our viewers will appreciate it. Outstanding reasons for dealing with someone who's a member of the Harford County Association of Realtors, for sure. Chris, you mentioned charity a couple times, so take a minute. And I know your members and the association, of course, itself is very interested in giving back to the community. Share with us some details about some of the programs you're involved in, if you don't mind.
As an association, we're involved in a lot of different charitable organizations, but even our members, it's amazing. I try to get our members to tell us about the things that they do, and they really are so humble that they really don't even want to tell us that they've done anything, because they don't want the recognition for that reason. I mean, we have people who lead coat drives every winter and never tell anyone. No one ever knows about it. We as an association raise money for the Boys and Girls Club. We're currently in a campaign right now where you can pledge a certain amount of money per deal or per inspection or per whatever, $25 a deal. And at the end, you write a check for that amount, however many deals you did during that period, and you pledge that much. And we give one big check to the Boys and Girls Club, because they're really in need right now, especially with the stay at home and people having to go to work, and their kids have nowhere to go, or they're working from home. It really is really tough right now for that. We're involved we donate to the Harford County Association of Realtors Charitable and Education Foundation. That's a foundation that we set up through our board that gives out scholarships to 25 plus students that are going to go to school in Maryland and that are Harford County residents. And we interview them and everything to make sure that that they're going to be using it for the right reasons. And we have them back after they graduate, and a lot of times it's heartbreaking to hear how much it helped them get through their school year. That little bit of scholarship was a big help. So we also do a food drive for people and pets, a local food bank. We're involved with a lot of different associations. We have a shredded event that's open for the public if they want to bring their items that need shredding. We have that once a year, and it's a drive-by. We rent one of the big trucks and have people bring by trunks full of items that they need to shred safely. So
now that's great. I mean, kudos to you and your realtor colleagues for that, for sure. Hey, Chris, before I let you go, I like to ask sort of a semi-personal question. Now that COVID is not exactly in the rearview mirror, but moving in that direction, share with us something maybe that you're looking forward to doing this summer that you haven't been able to do for a while.
I really just want to enjoy outside. That's my main goal this year. You know, whether it's the beach, whether it's boating, maybe a couple rounds of golf, but I'd really like to just enjoy the outside and appreciate nature. You know, this last year taught us a lot of things. I mean, I think we took a lot for granted, and I really just want to enjoy, being outside with family and friends and just enjoying life.
That's a great answer, Chris. Chris, how about giving, maybe you can give a plug to your favorite local restaurant that's been under siege, and maybe some of our viewers will want to patronize it.
There's so many of them now that I don't really even know. I mean, there's so many new ones that have opened up, and they're, you know, in the Habitat Grace area, there's a bunch of new ones. There's a couple in Harford County that I frequently go to, like 111 Main. It's a great restaurant that I think does a really good job. It's an intimate place, but it's a nice place right in the town of Bel Air, that I think does a good job. And I always enjoy going there. And they do have a small bit of outside seating, so I can enjoy the outside while I'm there.
Hey, Chris, one last thing. How can people reach your organization?
It's very easy. I mean, we have a Facebook page. It's very easy to get to. We have email address, and also you can call us by phone. But we are still working from remotely some. So probably email and the Facebook page. We have a public Facebook page, Harford County Association of Realtors.
Thank you, Chris. And this has been a very informative discussion. I very much appreciate your time and sharing your thoughts with our viewers.
I appreciate you having me on.